Hello. Ooh, I'm gonna scoot over a little like this. How's everyone? How are you this evening? We're gonna let YouTube share this out a little. And we'll get some folks on and we'll do some readings. Hello, Kimberly. Thank you for being here. All right. Do we have sound? I think we do. Awesome, awesome. Welcome, welcome. How's everybody's week been going? I guess we're getting ready to start kind of a new week, right? So I just was on Frequency Friday and we did some really interesting readings since it was Friday the 13th. We had some reflective questions. So if you didn't catch the Frequency Friday live, from 2 days ago, Friday the 13th, be sure to check it out because there are timestamps available for you to just go directly to the readings, which makes it really, really handy. If you're joining us, be sure to put that thumbs up on the live. This is a live for subscribers only, so you have to be subscribed to come on and get a mini reading. Hi, Ashley. Welcome. So good to see you. Yes, happy Father's Day to Jason. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Yay. We appreciate you. Yeah, throw the thumbs up here on the video. Go ahead and drop your questions in. Moderators can drop questions too if they want. Oh. Hi, Kimberly. I don't know how to tag you. So in YouTube chat, if you put the little @ sign and then you type the person's name, usually it'll tag them. Unless like it just kind of if you get an extra space or something, but I think they'll get the picture. We don't have such a crazy chat that you'll get lost in the sauce, so to speak. Ashley's going to kick us off. Yay, Ashley. All right. Another reminder just to anyone who's out there and looking for zodiac messages, I am releasing slowly but surely zodiac sign readings. They're power-packed readings in under 10 minutes. So definitely be sure to check it out. So far, we have Cancer, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, and Libra have all been released and are all up on the channel. So you guys know, if you know me, you know I say check out your sun, moon, rising, and north node placements as well. Okay, Ashley, we're going to start with you. A highest and best message. I'm clearing and cleansing this Wizard's Tarot here. What crystals are you guys using these days? I have a little piece of moldavite in here. I've got some black tourmaline. No, what is this? That's not black tourmaline. This is tourmalated quartz, and this is, oh, what's it called? I've forgotten what it is. And then over here we have unakite and rhodochrosite. This one is, what's that volcanic glass called? Onyx, black onyx. There it is. It came out of the memory somewhere. All right, Ashley. Ashley would like the highest and best message. All right, Ashley, we will get you the highest and best message. I'm going to get you an oracle card too, and we're going to go into the Shaman's Dream Oracle. You bought a tiger's eye pendant the other day. I don't know if that's a crystal or not. It is. That came up in one of the readings lately, tiger's eye. Might have been a couple Frequency Fridays ago where it came up for someone. That tiger's eye too is good for masculine energy, taking action if you're trying to get something done. It also kind of appears like wood. It has kind of a wood looking. So if you're working with the wood element. All right, Ashley, your highest and best message. Let's go. Okay, Ashley. So first up, do not get concerned about this, but you got the 10 of Swords. The Ten of Swords comes up for us typically when we need to maybe take some sort of action to bring something to an end, or we have a complete recognition of the end of a cycle. All right. And so you'll see the character here. They're, totally knifed in the back here. All right. I do not get a lot of energy around you that feels like being stabbed in the back. For you, I get it's the actions that you're taking because you recognize the end of a cycle or the end of something. It feels like something in your life has come to an end. And now you're moving through the final energies then to release that completely. And it to me, it feels like something that you're never going to go back to. Okay. You're never going to go back to it. All right. The Ten of Swords is an ending. It's a minor arcana ending. I feel like you already know what this is and probably are already moving away from it in your own way. But there's also this footnote going on of like, she will never have to deal with this energy again this lifetime, which kind of feels nice. It feels like a relief and it feels like a release. And then you got, Ashley, the Ace of Cups, and this is a brand new beginning. Definitely one that feels full of emotional fulfillment for you. Maybe more along the lines of what you pictured your life would look like in like your dreams as a young person. There's more peace here. There's more serenity here. And I feel like your heart is more protected than it was in these past energies of the last cycle. The reason your heart is more protected, though, is because of you and the work that you've done on yourself in your own healing process. And so now the universe is coming in with like this cup, and you'll see what else the universe is offering here for you and saying, now it's time for you to actually feel the peace that comes along with this new beginning. And this is a lovely way to start a new cycle with a full, open, protected heart. And so it feels really nice for you. Then you got the number 31 card. 3 plus 1 is 4 if you want to work with the numbers. You got in the hand, the universe is your partner. And I really am, we have two hands here. You're getting a lot of support from the universe, from the greater aspects of yourself even. Why? Because you're coming into a greater alignment. You're allowing the past to stay in the past. There's no need to rehash or keep revisiting it. It actually feels like a closure, and that the melody of your life has changed. And the universe is saying, we support this. We're showing up with you in these energies. This is a new beginning. You deserve this love. You deserve this fullness. And it's going to afford you an opportunity to reach more and more into the energies that you've dreamed of, especially when you were young. So if there's something that you dreamed of being or doing or someplace to travel to when you were young, these things are beginning to get closer and closer and closer to where you can grab them. Okay. So there's this recognition. It almost seems like the portal was like this, and the ending, you're coming from the ending to your beginning, and there's this kind of space. Well, now you're on the other side of that and it's closed. And that's how the energy is coming up for me, for you, Ashley, there. So highest and best message for you. We've got Jiao. Is that how you say your name? Firmino. Hello. BC. Hello. All right. So this is where we do the live Q&A. You can drop one question in the chat. Please keep it to one per person. And I have Kimberly wearing Moldavite too. Nice. I love it. I love that. And Kimberly would like a message from her grandpa's. Okay, let's get a message. We're going to go to the Prism Tarot and get you a message from your grandpa's here. So, what would Kimberly's grandfathers like to communicate to her? What would they like her to know? Ooh, pretty, pretty, pretty. All right. And we're going to get you an oracle card from the Starry Beginnings Oracle here as well, Kimberly. I like what I'm seeing. Zhao, I will get to your question. You're up next. What's up for you professionally? Cool. All right. So, Kimberly, your grandfather's messages here, okay? First up, in this deck, it's referred to as the Oracle of Clouds. This is the Queen of Swords, Kimberly, and it says perceptive. You're definitely intuitive. We know that, but you have a certain perception. What's really interesting is in the middle of the pupil of the eye is the cloud. And this is giving me the sense that you see and perceive things even when things are foggy or murky for others. Okay. Now, you can apply this on both a personal level and both a collective level as well. You have the perception, you have the gift. The Queen of Swords is also she's a very determined feminine energy. So she's very determined to kind of cut through the shadows, cut through the clouds. Let's clear the air, right? And so your grandfathers are saying here, when you feel motivated and clear about speaking, they want you to speak. All right. I get speak up, speak up. You will not regret it. All right. So that is the message they're giving me with this Queen of Swords. Speak up, especially when you perceive something that you feel like could bring clarity to a murky situation. And this, again, I'm getting a green light, whether it's for you personally or it's something collectively, right? So it could be something you sense and perceive in a work environment. It's the undertones of things that your grandpas are saying, this is important. So whatever you're picking up, they're confirming that. And then you also got the Six of Cups here, and it's showing up as raindrops. So we have clouds and raindrops. It actually might be nice for you to enjoy the rainy days when we get them, right? Really enjoying the rain, really enjoying the water. I feel like it gives you a little bit of downtime that you need, and it's memories here. So, and we have a little camera with a heart in the middle. This is a sweet message, especially coming from those that have crossed over, because it reminds us to love ourselves and to love those close to us and to love the fond memories that we have. So a lot of times when we get in our healing cycle, we're going into the shadows, right? And you're definitely perceiving things through the shadows, personally, collectively, etc. But this is a reminder of just being with yourself and maybe drawing up some of the more positive memories, whether they're with your grandfathers or with just anyone, your family members, friends, and drawing those up to the surface and letting those be just as much a part of your experience. You hear Blaze in the background there? Yeah. He's letting us know somebody's here. He's a little alarm system. And you also, Kimberly, got the number 8, number of abundance here. You are worthy. Aim for what you want and believe in yourself. And again, I feel like your grandfathers are saying, speak up. Speak up when you perceive something. All right. Personally or collectively. I'm getting 2 green lights here. It's like each one is like holding up a green light. Green light, go. So that's what's coming up. Water, definitely feels like your element right now if you're working with that. So that could be something really important for you. Okay. Cool. Yay. All right. Yay, yay, yay. Let's see. Okay. We got Zhao next. We're going to go to the Wizard's Tarot for you. What's up for you professionally? Okay, let's go. What's up for Zhao professionally? Oh my, well, some powerful things here. Ooh, I love it. Sacred Traveler Oracle for you today too here. Yes. Oh, we got some goosebumps. Good. That's when you know it's on. Hi, summertime. I'm going to get to all of you guys and gals. All right. Okay. So, Zhao, I mean, honestly, what's up for you professionally? It looks pretty good. I don't know if you're in a position of leadership, but if you're not, you are soon to be placed in a position of leadership with the Emperor here. This is connected to Aries energy. It represents that you are or you're going to be in a place of decision making, making important decisions, maybe even paving the way, leading a team of some sort here. All right. It's a very stable energy as well. The Emperor is the number 4, which is the number of stability. And I feel that honestly, this is, you have quite a natural alignment with leadership, even if you get overburdened sometimes by that. And I say that because you also have the 10 of Wands here. And I think sometimes, professionally speaking, you can maybe get to the point where you overthink things and things get a little burdensome in the mental space. But this being the Wands tells me that you have the ability to transform it, because Wands energy is fire and Emperor energy is fire. We've got a lot of fiery energy here. So I'm getting leader. I'm getting fire sign energy. So you would want to look in your chart to where you might have some fire signs. So Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, these energies are kind of your power points. And it seems to me, though, that at times professionally, you might feel a bit overburdened by something, or you have a fear like, if I get into this position and I really step out and I really take the lead, I'm gonna have a hard time managing all of that. It's gonna make me feel old and tired, basically, right? But there's also a lot of wisdom here. This is like, 10-point antlers, right? And wrong side. And so there's a lot of wisdom that you're gaining professionally in your environment. So here's what the universe kind of wants you to do, because you have the tendency, it tends to be leadership, responsibility, decisions, pressure, right? That can sometimes feel overburdened. Invite in a little bit of joy and delight. Try to have more fun. It's important for your soul to have fun with what you're doing. So if you're enjoying leadership, but you think you might get overburdened, then bring a little fun into it. I don't know if you need to do a little, like, if that means more icebreaker kind of situations. I don't know if that means when you're interviewing, perhaps, that you're going to elaborate a little bit on the lighter side of things, because this leadership power is very, very strong here. So we want to temper that. That would be some Sagittarius energy. Temper that with a little bit of joy and lightness, like keeping things light. You might also do really well if you're kind of the one who's like, we got to do this and it's got to get done and we're going to do it now and all of that. You might want to surround yourself, people on your team or colleagues that you work with that have a little bit more easygoing, like lighter energy. And that way the two of you can, or the three of you, however it works out in your dynamic, can complement one another. And that's what I get there. So just bring in the little lightness, a little more fun into the space, and make sure that what you're doing is fun for you. If not, take this wonderful, strong leadership energy and take it somewhere else. All right. That's what I get, because you don't want to wake up at the end of the day and just be exhausted, right? When at the end of the day, I mean retirement and, in your golden years, you want to actually still have your soul intact and not be totally consumed, right, by the fires of responsibility and leadership. Okay. There's lots of ways to lead too. So consider that, you might have to get creative with it, have a little more fun. All right, cool. BC is new, came in, and this was pointed out to me on my channel. Yes, welcome, welcome. 1.11 subs. Yay, thank you. We love to have new people here. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, you dropped by Frequency Friday. All right, I'm looking for the next question. I think Summertime is up with the next question. So yeah, if you have a question but you haven't asked yet, be sure to drop in and do that. Metaphysical Dynamics is here. So y'all, Metaphysical Dynamics and I did my first Real Life Mages podcast on this channel. We did that together, also known as Jungle. Welcome, welcome. So check it out. He and I talked about energy and martial arts and lots of cool stuff. So yeah, so if you're new, be sure to put a thumbs up. Bring a friend. Do you have a friend who's into this kind of stuff? Bring them along to the channel. Invite them for next time, maybe, if they're not available tonight. Happy Father's Day to everyone who's a father out there. All right, Stand Yourself is here. Hello, Stand Yourself Official. We love her channel too. All right, thanks for being here, everyone. All right, so Summertime. You have a relationship that is currently on pause, and you would like some insight on that. Okay. Which of these oracles? We're going to go to the Shaman's Dream. I'm feeling the Shaman's Dream oracle for you here when it comes to this. Okay, so we have some important messages for you, Summertime. And I really love these messages. Honestly, there is so much heart energy coming up in your reading. There's a lot of green. Okay, so there's a lot of green going on. I just feel like this is all heart work, heart space energy. I just froze. I'm unfroze, right? You can hear me again. I froze, right? And I unfroze. So, Summertime, your big heart energy is like really affecting the vibe here. Okay, I think you guys can still hear and see me. Derek from Awaken Your Mind is here. Bonjour, bonjour. Okay, Summertime. You have the Five of Pentacles that came up first when it talks about your relationship that's currently on pause. And we have the word need here. And I think this is a very important word to point out for your situation, because I think this is something that you're working on or need to work on. Well, let me say it this way. You could invite yourself to work on, okay? Because I don't want to put any pressure on you. But in the relationship, when relationships start taking the turn toward needs, okay, and more away from want and desire, we have the tendency sometimes in certain situations to slip into a little bit of codependency and a little bit of looking to the other person for validation. All right. And I feel like whether that's on your side, their side, or both, I feel like that's a dynamic that may have crept in. It doesn't necessarily, to me, feel like it was like a smackdown there from the beginning, but that the relationship may have crept into a little bit of codependency and a little bit of validation, like skewed or unbalanced energies of needing validation from the other person, and more of a need than a desire and a want. And so the stage for the relationship seem to stagnate because one or both of you realized that you came to that realization. I'm going to say it was you since you're here asking the question. Okay. So that may be a part of this here. However, I don't think the doors are completely closed on this situation. We're rounding back to the Ace of Pentacles for you, and it says opportunity. I still think there's an opportunity for this connection to come back around if the people involved can really take a look at their own hearts and admit where they might be looking to lean into the other person in an imbalanced way instead of finding the balance within and then coming together as two balanced individuals. And so this is also the pentacles here, very earth sign energy. I feel that it's important to have some real practical conversations between the two of you as well. So if something's on pause, there's practical matters that might need to be cleared up. So we have kind of the emotional habit. There's habits here, and maybe like some, the codependency and the maybe triggering things going on there, right? That need addressing, but there's also some practical things. And I think maybe the way back in for this relationship, if you both decide, because you have free will in this, to try to make things work and come back together or bring it back online after a pause, it's important maybe to start with some foundational practical matters for the relationship. And we have a beautiful diamond here. Maybe that kind of a conversation will help you see each other's perspective better. So yeah, that's what I get there. All right. And then what I really love summertime here, and hopefully you can really open up your heart even more and accept this beautiful message. You got number 25, the Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. Look at this gorgeous card. I don't think I have ever pulled this for anybody out of this deck before because I would remember this card. Rest and renewal. For now, summertime. Enjoy the summertime. If you're in the northern hemisphere, rest, get renewed, allow your heart to heal, nurturing yourself. I feel like I see these birds here, like these little, there's like a hummingbird over here. And I feel like in this time of rest and renewal, you're going to get some really interesting perspectives and you're going to become closely connected with your life force energy, the nectar. If you imagine like the hummingbird going for the nectar, right? And there's this beautiful like honey and nectar energy that is yours, only yours. And in this rest and renewal, in this pause from this relationship, is your chance to really get reconnected with that. And I think that energy that is yours and yours alone is going to help inform you about the practical matters, what you need to feel safe, what you need to feel secure, what you need to feel like the relationship is in a nice homeostasis, in a nice balance. That's what it is. And when you're resting and renewing, it's a good time to kind of maybe we'll peek into the ways we felt triggered and the ways maybe we felt abandoned or let down or we needed something from the other person. And maybe we can take a real honest, good look at that and say, let me look into what that was and let me kind of feel into it. Lots of heart energy going on here. Grounding for you. I would look in your chart to where you have the earth sign energies of Capricorn, Virgo, and who's my other earth sign? Taurus, which is my moon, and I'm not remembering it. And just spend some time in the garden with the earthly energy. Spend some time in nature. Get your rest while you have some downtime. Relationships, whew, they're tricky. They're tricky, and there's a lot of ins and outs, and things can change on a dime. That's where we're at right now with the energies. All right. Practicality. Yeah, right. Good point, Awaken Your Mind, because yeah, when you're like worried about the basic stuff, or the two partners can't come together on just like a living situation, or who's buying groceries, who contributes, whatever, right? It can get a little tricky, right? So the practical matters. And also when we're easing back in and taking an opportunity maybe to kind of suss out if we're going to get in a relationship with someone again, right? We can start with those practical things. Okay. And that's going to inform us first. You don't have to jump in with all your emotions and maybe miss something and go right back to where you were that caused the pause in the first place, right? So a little bit more practical. Stand Yourself says, feeling like a burden triggers me. What would my guides, the universe, ancestors, or my higher self, wow, or the whole entourage, suggest to heal and balance these feelings? Others directly or indirectly trigger me or trigger within me. Okay, so I got you. I love the way you worded that, because you are taking accountability for it by saying it's triggering within me, and I know that. And people may be directly or indirectly triggering that. All right. Feeling like a burden. You don't want to feel like a burden. That makes you feel sad, depressed. Okay. We're going to go with the Sacred Traveler Oracle for you here too. I just got a little bit of a, whoop, there it is. Oh, I think you're going to get two. You're going to get two. All right, here we go. And I just got like hot. Whew, it's hot here. All right, Stand Yourself. The acknowledgement first is coming up about how you feel, feeling like a burden, and how that makes you feel. We got a lot of books here. We're hanging out in the library, right? And to me, I'm feeling like I'm connecting in with the more ancient aspects of your soul. People who tend to be a little bit older souls usually gravitate to creators on the crest here, right? And so there's been a lot of journeys, all right? And that's being acknowledged. And that's also being encouraged as a reflection for you, because there is some wisdom, some healing salve. I want to say like a healing salve in your own like soul's history that maybe you can go and get somehow. Okay. You can translate that into the practical world real time today if you want to, but there is some healing salve in your past that's coming up related to this. But your feelings are being acknowledged here. Feeling like a burden, of course, could be connected to a past life for you. It feels to me like a heavy pressurized energy. It feels to me like somebody who does a lot of physical hard labor. That's the feeling I get. I'm not saying necessarily you do that now. The feeling I get is that that may be connected to you carrying burdens of the past. Okay, so that I'm just going to say that because I think that's the universe just acknowledging what that is. Now, your invitation here from the universe, ancestors, your greater being is process the emotions. And I know when we're looking at this card, we're thinking, okay, Stand Yourself has probably been processing some emotions, because this knight and the horse are like, the horse is like chest deep in this. The knight's definitely feeling the pressure of the water here, and the cup is out in front. But you, through processing your emotions, you are your own guiding light. All right. And you're very close to the cup sitting there on the top of the water. I feel like you're very close to the edge of the river from whence you and your horse have crossed here. Knight of Cups is going to be action through loving energy, and it's going to have to start with you, towards yourself. And it's going to get messy if it hasn't already. All right. This particular situation feeling like a burden, there's a lot of underlying emotions here. So I'm going to bring up that part in the Never-Ending Story that those of us who are of that age and we've seen the movie, The Never-Ending Story, raise your hand if you've seen that one, where Atreyu loses the horse in the mud, in the sinking mud. Okay, that's kind of what this feels like. Like it may feel like, oh my gosh, if I go to process all that, like I'm gonna lose my best friend, the horse here. I'm not gonna be able to grab that cup. I'm just gonna be a mess, a messy energy. But at the same time, you are moving through this, you're almost to the other side, and a lot of the emotional energies are behind you. So, are you at the Queen of Cups quite yet? No. Are you at the King of Cups quite yet? No. But you are well on your way with this Knight. You've already taken a great deal of action. There's some more. There's some more in store. And there's going to be continued feelings of feeling triggered as you process, but they're going to lessen and lessen and lessen a little bit more. There's also this energy of we cannot see if this cup is empty or full. We know it's upright, but you cannot see if water has filled that cup yet. And so as the Knight of Cups, if you're in that energy archetypally, it's your job to get that cup and begin to fill it. And that's what's going to move you into the mastery. And it's feminine mastery, right? The queen, and then the masculine mastery with those emotions there. And I think once you hit the king there, you're going to feel a little bit better. You're going to feel like, okay, I got this now. There's not so much emotion to process. And when there's not as much emotion to process, that feeling becomes more neutral. All right. So neutrality is kind of what you're going for here, but you don't want to force it. If there's emotions that still need to come out, let them out. That's what I get. You also got surrendering to the journey, release control. And there she is in her boat moving through the water there. All right. Releasing control. This can be a tough one. So if a lot of the way you've moved so far in this lifetime has been feeling like you are a burden, then there is strangely a safety aspect in there where your mind and your being tells yourself you're safe in the burden. Okay. But here we're going to take a lighter boat. We're going to be light on our feet. We're going to be light in the water. We're going to float. We're going to release control. You don't have to steer. You don't have to do anything. You just trust your greater being, the universe, your ancestors, and your honorable guides to lead you through these emotions. Okay. There's going to be times where you feel drowning, like you're drowning in the emotions. There's going to be times where you get on top of it, but don't try to control it. Let it flow. You also have this card wanted to come out too. And it's kind of a healer, heal thyself card. You got mystic healer, healing energy flows through you. Okay. And look at this beautiful moon goddess energy. We have an owl perched in the background, more wisdom coming through, a lot of wisdom kind of factors coming into this tonight's little Q&A here. Healing energy is flowing through you. So that's a great sign for you personally, but also, of course, I get that you are a mystic healer yourself and that your ability to process this is the kind of space that you will hold as others cross the deep river of life, okay, on their journey. So you're being reminded here, don't forget who you are, all right? Don't try to control it. And definitely don't forget who you are and that the healing energy flows through you. Wow. Okay. And I feel it. There's times during a reading where I feel like I'm holding my breath and I can't breathe. And then there's like these moments of relief. So it's kind of like just when you think you got it, hang in there though. You are moving. The Knights, anytime we get Knights, we have some sort of movement. And the Knight of Cups is making sure that the emotional processing is happening. All right, let me go down. I'm trying to connect to the next question here. So I see you guys are talking. Hello, hello. You were feeling the practicality. Yeah, I love when I'm doing one reading for somebody and like other people feel the vibes from that too and can do that. The Gemini, yes, I am still accepting questions. And you would like to know, how is Sagittarius, feeling today about you? Okay, Gemini. I'm going to go to this Prism Tarot here. Thank you for being here. To anyone who's a new subscriber, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to have you on board in the creators community. We are asking how Sag is feeling about the Gemini. Whew, okay, we're going to go with the Starry Beginnings Oracle here. How is Sag feeling about Gemini today? Okay, here we go. I really like this energy for you, the Gemini. First of all, Sag definitely sees and feels you in your energy. This is the King of Swords. Sag feels like, wow, my Gemini, they're so smart. They're so intellectual. At times, Sag might feel a little like maybe have a little feeling of inferiority in that department when it comes to that. Maybe it's also communication. They like how you communicate. Maybe don't feel the best about their own communication at times. I feel like this is a Saggy who sometimes they're on, and when they're on, they're really on, but when they're off, they're really off. It feels like that kind of energy. And so there's this, it's almost like there's this insecurity in Sag that says, am I good enough for the Gemini here? Can I do that? And so that insecurity is kind of popping up. However, it's looking like, with the Wheel of Fortune coming in, that this is a cycle and a lesson for Sag, and that it will be clearing out. I think it's something that doesn't only affect how they see you and their relationship with you, but it affects all their relationships. So, not to say yours and theirs isn't important, but this insecurity is not just something that they feel just with you. It could be with their family members. It could be with maybe the way they were treated as a child or something like that. And this feels like a fortunate wind of change. And that's important, because when we're relating with others and being in connection with others, we want them, if we're in partnership with them or friendship with them, we want it to be that beautiful give and take, that beautiful exchange, right? And that's, it's, if one or the other has an insecurity, it usually is a little choppy there. And so Saggy is working on that, is working on transforming that. Wheel of Fortune, I feel very good about this Wheel of Fortune. It feels like things are moving in the right direction. With the horseshoe, we got the lucky dice, we have the clover here. So for you in all this, the Gemini, you got number 35, let go of a fixed plan and allow for spontaneity and growth. Now, I think to both a Gemini and a Saggy energy, this might feel good. Let go of a fixed plan. Let go of any kind of thoughts of like the way things should be. Let go of moving forward on your own here, Gemini, with worrying about their insecurity, because it's an insecurity that Saggy needs to heal on their own. It's like their job to do it, okay? And you can be supportive and you can hold space, but trying to fix it for them, or having some sort of like things need to happen in this order, or some sort of grip on it, that would not be good. But the way they're feeling about you is they can step up and heal this for their Gemini. That's the way they feel about you. But on the surface, you know, when you're dealing with these subconscious matters, it gets a little tricky. So Saggy might sometimes feel hot and then cold, right? As Saggy's working through these energies. But the way they see you is in your energy. They see your beauty. They see your Gemini, beautiful diamond energy there, and it's standing out really strong. It's just maybe their own insecurity gets in the way. I feel for that, you know. Lots of us have been in relationships where we compare and then we, you know, like we're questioning, like, am I good enough? And, you know, we've had trauma to be healed, and that's just something they're working on. Summertime said he's the one who stopped communicating. Oh, okay. So we have a ghosting energy there. Interesting. Very interesting. Stay in your garden there, Summertime. Stay in your garden. Your garden is the happy place, okay? And if he's the one that stopped communicating, then he should be the one to reinitiate the conversations, right? Don't feel like you have to go chase. I get that. Don't stay in your garden and let them come to you, okay? Got to stay in that beautiful garden of yours. Yes, I love these questions. You guys are coming up with such great ones. Jasmine Romero, hello. How are you tonight? Thank you, everyone, for being here. Jasmine is up next. Do I have anybody else here who wants to drop a question in? We appreciate it. And yes, I do. I am not yet monetized on YouTube, but if you enjoy your little mini message and you'd like to, you know, gift me a tip or anything, I would be most grateful for that. I did put the links at the top of the live chat, and they'll also be in the description of the replay if you want to come back and listen as well. So yes, you could do that. Now Jasmine is here, and Jasmine is putting in 2 weeks, the right decision, and on the step of healing journey. Do you mean healing journey? But you've put in your 2 weeks. Would you like me to do a read on that? You're doing good. Jasmine, would you like me to just kind of do a read on that for you? I don't know if that's like are you saying is putting in the 2 weeks the right decision? I just want to make sure I got it right. I think you're saying is putting in the 2 weeks the right decision on the step of your healing journey. Okay, gotcha. All right. Woo. Okay, I feel the uncertainty. I'm feeling the uncertainty in the cards here. I feel your uncertainty with it. So the universe is giving you a clear answer, that's for sure. We're going to go to the Shaman's Dream Oracle for you as well, Jasmine, here. Ooh, and you'll see when you join these live Q&As, even if you join later and you go watch the replay, you'll see there tend to be themes, like the people and the questions that come up tend to be some interesting themes. All right, so Jasmine, for you, this job, you got the 10 of Wands. Remember, this came up for another person, didn't it, already in this reading tonight or in this live Q&A. This job, I don't know, feeling like a burden is a theme tonight. Those of you who felt like a burden, this job places burdens upon you, Jasmine, that are, gosh, it just seems unrealistic. First of all, it seems unnecessary. Like, I feel like it doesn't have to be so hard. Like at your job, somebody or something is making it harder than it needs to be. And it feels very much unnecessary to me, very and unrealistic, like some sort of, I don't know, extra expectations that don't really put the human first, right? And I don't know, it feels very unnecessary. Someone or something, the energy of the place, the way it's going, a boss there, something just is putting forth an energy that's very unnecessary. And I think you're feeling that. It doesn't feel good. Your supervisor, that must be your supervisor's energy that's making you uncomfortable. Yeah. And I will tell you what, like in this particular reading, you're being asked by your greater being, by your spirit team, to focus on what your heart wants. And if your heart does not feel at home in this work situation, then it is time. It's time for you. Now, make whatever arrangements you need, make whatever plans. We want to make sure that when this heart home comes up, we're not trying to tear down, the resources that you need here. So you want to hone in on what your heart wants and offer the love and compassion to that, and then figure your way out of it. Okay. So it sounds like it's something that you've been thinking about. There's definitely unnecessary energy going on right now. Now, unnecessary or unprofessional energy can always, sometimes when it's somebody's icky energy, or they're kind of like have a predatory energy, it can escalate. So you may have your internal guidance system here, by what I see in this card, saying, I'm a good person. I give people the benefit of the doubt. That's what I feel about you, but you just know something's off. You got a 27 here. That may have to do with a date this month. Like if you put in your 2 weeks, that may be a critical day, because we're right at the 15th right now. It's going to be close to that time. Something significant for that day, or if you have time off that you haven't used, maybe take the 27th. I don't even know if that falls on a weekend. I haven't checked, but somewhere around there. 2 plus 7 is also 9. So we've got a 9 coming up. You're going to want to look into July at the 9th and the 27th for key dates that might have to do with this. Okay. Here's the thing about you leaving. Oh my gosh. And I'm starting to get like a lot of energies bubbling up from my heart into my throat. Woo. You got the sun though. To me, it feels like for you, Jasmine, like you need to be in a work environment where you are free to like make decisions. You don't need like unnecessary pressure, energy, or like instructions or advances or whatever it might be coming toward you. You do not thrive in that kind of an environment, and your soul wants to get into an environment where you thrive, and that brings you happiness, where you can be happy and feel safe. Those are important things for you. Freedom, happiness, and safety in whatever you're putting your energy toward here. And so coming home to your heart, really listening to what your heart and soul are telling you about this is really, really, really important. Okay, so yeah, they get mad at you for being sick and having to take like time off and things like that. Yeah, Teresa said lots of red. Yeah, and red is that tribal energy of the root, right? That connects us with others. And I'm just getting the bottom line for you, Jasmine, is you don't feel at home. If this isn't bringing you happiness, you are on the right track with making your decision to go ahead and do that. I do feel like the concerning energy is just that you feel safe with the resources you have, right? So sometimes it takes a little bit of planning, right? I know sometimes people do realistically have to leave jobs on a dime, right? They just have to like say, I'm done, because it gets to be too much. But also we don't want you to be reeling and without resources, right? So definitely try to stay, in a good plan with it, and protect yourself in the meantime from those unnecessary energies, offering yourself the compassion. You need your money. Well, yeah, we all unfortunately we live in a world where we all have to somehow get a hold of resources. Absolutely. But yeah, I think we have to make that decision personally for ourselves. Like, is the money really worth it for us? And can we trust in our creative capacities? Because I know what this feels like. I'm out here as a spiritual entrepreneur doing my own thing. I used to work in the corporate world, and I know what it feels like to have that consistent check coming every other week that you could always trust was hitting your bank account. And I know what it's like to switch jobs, change jobs, interview, leave jobs, join jobs, right? And kind of figuring out. But even if you do want to do something like entrepreneurship, you want to kind of branch out and move that direction, it doesn't mean you can't find a job that you're happier at in the meantime. And that's exactly what I did. I set a lot of intention before I left the corporate world about I'm going to transfer departments. I'm going to get a boss who's more reasonable. This is going to be more money and less work. And I'm going to find my way out of here. And I did. Now, it took a little while for me personally. It took like a couple years to get in position, but everybody kind of has their own journey with that. Karen's here. Woo! Okay, I've got time for one more. Karen, do you have a question? Someone else dropped in I wanted to say hi to. Tressa was here. Does anyone else have? I'll do one final read if anybody has a question. If not, I'll just pull some general cards. But I want to give a chance here. I want to give a chance. All right. Anyone? Your higher power. All right. Karen's getting into the power. Yes. Okay. We're going to go to the Wizard's Tarot again. This one's calling again for you, Karen. And we'll do this and then we'll wrap up tonight. I so appreciate everyone being here. Make sure you put a thumbs up on this. You can always come in and watch the replay. And if you joined, but you didn't ask a question this time, maybe you will next time. Remember, you don't have to ask something specific. You can always just say, hey, I'd like to leave it open to the universe to give me a message or something like that. And we're going to do the Sacred Traveler Oracle for you, Karen. Whew, here it is. A little sticky, but here it is. Oh, wow. I'm loving this. Okay, so I know y'all tonight, I feel like there's been emotions in everybody's reading tonight. And we got the Five of Cups here for you, Karen. Okay, we got the Five of Cups, and this is where we're feeling a certain way. We're feeling like, man, sometimes I just feel sad. I feel worn down. I feel tired. Maybe I feel a little bit of the blues or depression sometimes. And something to do with time here is coming up, like the timing of things. So your greater being is kind of like uncomfortable with maybe the timing of things here. Okay. And you're feeling a little bit sad about that. Like when is the spark? I kind of feel like, when is the spark going to come? When is the spark going to happen? And in the meantime, you're kind of in this position with the Hanged Man here where, since it's not coming in, right? There's something that you're waiting on that's not coming in yet. You're kind of in this position of like, okay, I'm stalled, but you're not. The Hanged Man is one of the most intriguing major arcana energies because it is you with your energy. Okay. So in all of this, you are having the time and space somewhere to get really connected with this energy. So there's like this spark incoming sometime, but it's not happening quite the way you expected or would like it to. And so you're in this position, and this is a great opportunity to stabilize yourself into receptive energies so that what I'm about to show you will come in and can come in. So you're opening things up. It may feel like you're still or like things aren't happening at times, but massive doors are opening here from what I could see. But you may feel like you're here. Like, what do I do? Which direction do I go? Right? And so your greater being is like, this is okay. You're okay in this energy because you are receiving different perspectives and you are receiving information and wisdom about how to open yourself for receptivity. Now, what I want to say is, don't count on some like magic manifestation formula that doesn't feel right. Like you are the magic formula. Like you yourself are the magic formula, Karen, and the universe wants you to know that. Infinite abundance is yours. It's pouring into your life, even if you can't see it yet. You do have a connection with the spark. It's just the timing is maybe not what you thought it would be by now, but maybe it'll be even more than you thought it ever could be, if this makes sense. Okay. So that is what I get. And I love it. In here, they're like picking apples. And like this, they're having to get a huge sheet to hold all the apples because, you know, these ladies are usually putting the apples like in their apron pockets and stuff and in their little baskets, but there's so much that they're having to get like a massive sheet to hold the apples. So you have a whole lot of abundance pouring into your life. You're saying, are the windows open in the Hanged Man? Oh gosh, it's kind of hard to tell, honestly. Let me show you the card again. I'm gonna have to get it like a magnifying glass, but it looks like they could be those kind of windows that like tilt on an angle there. So if that's something significant to you, I don't know if I would call them opened or opening, maybe. It's hard to tell because there's like a corner. And it kind of reminds me of like it's a library in the background, though. There's books in the background. Very interesting card, isn't it? Very interesting card. All right. Derek has given us a question. What's the momentum to build up to with the solstice? Gosh, is the solstice coming, y'all? Let's pull some oracle cards for the solstice coming up in a few days. Oh my goodness, am I ready for that? No. But here it comes anyway, right? Here we are. All right. So that's a great question to close us out. How about for all the creators on the live or replay, what's the momentum to build up to with the solstice coming up in the next few days? And what a beautiful way to close out here. Woo! And we're going to get one of each oracle card from the decks I have. There's 3 of them, and then I will share those messages. Oh, one more. Woo! Yeah, this one. Okay, and that's funny because this makes sense to me, I think. We've got the number 20, the Feast of Plenty. So, you know, we just kind of came off of Karen's reading with the abundance incoming. Choices and the consequences. This is something I've been saying and it keeps coming up. It's very important for us to sit with our choices. Like we saw that Hanged Man card and I've already put it back in the deck, so I don't know where it is, but it's important for us to sit with our choices and understand. Now, consequences can be positive as well, right? So where are we putting our energy? Where are we putting our productivity? Are we putting our energy into the things that matter, that are going to move us forward? And that's what this solstice energy is revealing to us. The importance of our decisions and choices, and spending some time looking at where those might lead without getting too attached to it, without getting your sword completely stuck in the stone, okay? Without getting it too stuck in there. We want to be able to have some flexible energy around it. Then from 20, we got the 25, breathe love into your life. Remind yourself to breathe, okay? So breath, movement, energy, oxygenation of your cells is so, so important. Bringing love in, letting love and what that means to you, right? We can define that. I kind of like to look at love as the opposing force to fear, right? And so how can I breathe that love in while I face my fears, right? While I face the weight of the decisions that I have to make and their potential consequences. Can breath help me with that? How do I breathe that in? Is my breath becoming shallow? Where is my breath becoming shallow? When am I feeling like I can't breathe? Is it around certain people? Is it in the workplace? Where am I feeling that way? Is it out in public, right? Is it all of the above? Getting yourself into places where you can breathe and enjoy the journey. Life's a journey, not a destination. And here's our sly little fox with the map. He's like, you know what? I got the map. I'll figure this out, but I'm just going to kind of wind through this path. I might, just let myself be invited by nature to kind of follow a winding path and enjoy some of the scenery. Maybe I'll take the road less traveled here. Those of you, I know when I go traveling, I tend to not be as excited about going to all the touristy kind of stuff. I want to go off the beaten path a little. I want to take the road less traveled. Where's the really cool things that not everybody knows about, but the locals, right? Really enjoying the journey, being willing to let the path meander a little bit, and that everything doesn't have to be a straight shot, right? We can enjoy the scenery and enjoy nature. Hello, the Red Thread 39. We are at the end of our session tonight. I will be back here in 2 weeks, same channel, same time, 7 to 8 p.m. Central. I welcome you all. Please check out the other content here on my channel. I would love to see you again in 2 weeks. So come back. We have a wonderful group here. Everybody is asking the most amazing questions. And I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Take care. Happy solstice.